Alright guys, it's Phil here, welcome back to another video. Today I've actually planned out something that I think is super cool. This is going to be like the perfect budget full purple inventory. Now, budget doesn't necessarily mean cheap, and we'll show you the total price at the end for this, but it's by no means cheap. But in the grand scheme of things, to get the 15 million skins, a knife, and some gloves for this price for purple, I think it's an incredibly fair overall price to pay. And I think it looks incredible. So if you enjoy it and want to see more content like this for the slightly more expensive items, which obviously then includes knife and glove combos, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button right here, and let's go right into it. Now, like usual, we'll kick things off with the pistols, and I've got a USP purple DD pat for my choice here. This looks good in CSGO, but it looks even better in Counter-Strike 2, which is why you should be picking one up now before the price spikes. Obviously, we can see it in Counter-Strike 2 now, but I think the final version is going to look insane. The alternative to this would be a Black Lotus, which is a little bit cheaper, but I think the DD pat just looks so much better in Counter-Strike 2. The Glock is still somewhere where we can save a little bit of money because it's going to be a Moonrise, and you get this in factory new for 86 cents. And as always, we'll have the name of the skin and the price on the top right hand corner for you guys. But this looks good. I think we do need an upgraded purple pistol, an upgraded purple Glock, but maybe that'll come with CS2. In the meantime, this looks really nice. Now, our first big spender, if you will, is going to be for the Desert Eagle, and that's going to go for the Ocean Drive in minimal wear. This is about $38 at the minute. Now, this is not a full purple skin, but it's by far the best purple Desert Eagle we can pull, and I think the main thing here is that like the outside of the skin is the best way I'm going to detail it, is purple. Like, there's a lot of purple there, and then you get a little bit of pink, orange, and blue throughout it, but for me, overall, this is still a purple skin. If you want it to be even more purple, obviously, you can go down the route of a sticker craft. I will admit the P250 is a bit of a letdown, because we go for the Vino Primo. This is literally the only purple P250 that exists, so I'd say for the next collection that drops, or maybe the next two collections that drop in Counter-Strike 2, I think we're due like an updated, really clean, fancy purple pistol. And then much like the Glock, we have a real winner for the 5.7. This is the Violent Daimyo. You can get this for 12 cents in minimal wear. The alternative would be a Flame Test, which is equally as cheap, but for me, you get more for the Violent Daimyo. I like the pattern on it, and I like the shade of purple that's there. And that rounds off the pistols, so let's have a look at the rifles. Now, the first big item is going to be the AK-47, of course, and I've gone for no other than the Neon Rider. You can get this in minimal wear, and it looks incredibly nice. Honestly, the colors just pop on this. I have a Mac 10 on Neon Rider, and I'm so tempted to get this AK. It looks so good. It opens up a lot of opportunities for sticker crafts. It looks good even in like field tests, but you can get minimal wear at the minute for $52, which I think is a really fair price to pay for a skin that looks this good. For the M4A1S, we are going to go with a Decimator, which I know has a lot of blue in it, and you can argue that the colouring in the outside is pink, but in all the websites it pops up as purple. Now, this is better than a Battle-Scarred Night Terror for me. I think the Battle-Scarred Night Terror is perfect if you're on a budget inventory, but you want to go a bit further when you're spending a little bit more. And the fact that this in minimal wear is under $12, I think doing this and then a cheap purple sticker craft would be the play. And then I'm actually going to spend $23 on the M4A4 because I want to pick up a factory new Dragon King. Now, this wears a lot, and the magazine wears a lot on the M4A4. So it's in factory new. You can even see it's like a higher float factory new, and you can start to see bits of wear. But between this and the Desolate Space, it's like your purple options for an M4A4. I think this Dragon King just continues to go under the radar a little bit, and that's why I've included it. Now, a good example of what I mean when I say the budget, like the perfect budget inventory here is, for the op, I could very easily say that I want to go get an Onitaji. This game is unbelievably good. Like, the purple on it looks incredible, the detail in the scope, the whole skin looks fantastic, but in min wear, it's $384. That's a lot of money to spend. That's more than our knife or more than our gloves. And realistically, you want to spend about 60% of your budget on your knife and gloves, so this is a bit of an unreasonable op to go for. But the budget option is not going to be a lightning strike. It's going to be the Neo Noir in factory new. Now, this sort of gets a little bit of a pass because it is white on the top half, and then it has like that pinky blue and then into the purple. So this is definitely still a purple skin, but the purple is kind of like 30-40% of the colouring on it. So if you can live with that and deal with a nice clean white finish, then you're laughing. I would say, like, again, find a cheap purple sticker you could put on the scope for this just to kind of round it off, and then you know what, you're laughing for your budget inventory. Now, the remaining 6 skins are the skins that you probably won't use as often, but we still like to have a nice finish, so we only spend about $15 in total across them. First up, we have the Scout. It's the mainframe. This is min wear for 30 cents. This is mostly purple. Really nice design. Super clean. Like, it's a very strong, vibrant color. It's not like that purple Barak AK where you can barely see it. I think this looks really nice. The FAMAS is going to be the Pulse, and we know that the FAMAS loves to wear, so even a minimal wear, you're going to deal with some wearing here. And again, this is kind of like this purpley pink discussion, but when it's the best option we have, it's what we have to go with. And that sentiment carries over to the Gale. We could have gone for a Sugar Rush, but that means spending like $30–40, almost the same amount as we spent on the AK on a Gale. So instead, I'm going to go for the Chromatic Abresh, which again falls into that pinky purple category with that like the shading of the stripes. Obviously, long term, I would say upgrade to a Sugar Rush, but for now, I think this will fit and match the gloves we've selected absolutely fine. Now, to once again reinforce the budget side of things, for the MP9, you're going for the Goo, because the only purple MP9 that exists is the Wild Lily, and it costs like $1,000 plus to get, which just isn't going to happen. So you're going to get a Goo. This is something that's new. You could also go for a Dart or a Featherweight, essentially something neutral that's not going to clash with this theme you're building. Now, I've referenced it already. The Mac 10 is going to be the Neon Rider. It pairs in with the AK. It just makes sense. This is a brightness skin, so I picked a minimal wear one for $566, but if you wanted to save a couple dollars, you could go and get the field test at one. I've been running the field test at StatTrack, and honestly, it looks perfect. And then we end up with a Mag 7, which is not a perfect purple skin, but I like a Mag 7 skin because this is a weapon along with a Scout. Why I like including Mag 10, why I like to include Mag 7 skins is because if you've got like 4k and your team wants to buy down to, say, 2k, for example, yes, you can go Deagle Armor, but sometimes getting a Mag 7, playing a close angle, it's just the right choice. So that's the 15 weapon skins. Now it's time to look at the glove and knife selection. Now for the gloves, you can see them here. We're going to go for the Driver Gloves Imperial Plaid. This is, I'm going to say, an underrated pair of gloves. It gets joked sometimes of looking like oven mitts, but honestly, I think they're very clean. And the one thing, I think Jesus covered this recently actually. Now the purple, which is like a premium skin for Counter-Strike, field tested Driver Gloves don't wear that bad at all. Obviously you start to see some scuffs in the knuckle, but for this, for a field tested pair, which saves you a lot of money, they look incredible. And then the knife I'm going to go for is not a Doppler, unfortunately. It is, however, going to be an ultraviolet bayonet. Now, here's my thing. I didn't want to go for like a really budget ultraviolet. I wanted to go for something that's maybe a little bit more premium. And I think the bayonet is that. The bayonet offers this nice long blade, kind of a bit more premium knife, but it doesn't necessarily break the bank. Now, one thing is, this is minimal wear, and you can see wear on it. So this depends if you're happy with wear being on your knife. If not, maybe you save some budget, you go buy a factory new version of another knife, but the budget is $300. So the knife here, when I checked these prices on the 30th of July, the knife was $307, and the gloves were $303. Which, when I say taking up about 60% of the inventory cost, this takes up about $610 of the cost, and then the skins around it are about $190, which means this perfect budget purple inventory comes out at $798.70, so just under $800. Now, I know the immediate reaction is $800 is not budget. What do you mean? That's not cheap. As I say, budget doesn't mean cheap, and in this case, when we're including 15 skins, going for some of the more premium ones, like the Neon Rider, like the Op Neo Noir, that kind of thing, and the Desert Eagle Ocean Drive, and then going for a pair of knife and gloves, with purple being a bit more expensive. Obviously, a budget option would be going for like a pair of Broken Fang unhinged gloves for like field test at $70, and then just go and get like a budget ultraviolet for like $100, $150, something like that. And then you get a combo that's rather than spending $600, you're maybe spending like $250, and that saves you a little bit of money. But I wanted to go for building like the best you can for this price, and I think $800 in total for knife and gloves, given the current market, is absolutely fair. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you have a specific sort of color or theme inventory you want to see me do one of these. Essentially for these, I don't just set it as I'm building the $500 inventory. I build it like for what I think is best, see what the price comes out with, and if I need to tweak it to get it to an even amount, I will then do so. So hit that like button if you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button if you're right here. Let me know down below which skin was your favorite, and if you could have done a different combo for the knife and gloves. Outside of that, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.